Welcome to this week's episode of the Author Collaborative. As always, I'll be talking to a fellow author whose book I have read and reviewed, and we'll be talking about that book and the book that they have read of mine. Recently, I republished my latest book, which was previously titled A Piece of Your Mind for Peace of Mind, but I have now republished it as Peaceful Ponderings and Mindful Musings, and you can find it on Amazon Kindle worldwide. Hello, Revti. Thank you for joining. I am waiting for today's guest to join so that we can begin today's episode. His name is Sandeep Pawar, and the book that I have read of his is titled The Heart is for Sale. I have read and reviewed it on my account, and you can go and check my detailed review. We'll be talking about that book and my latest book, which is Mindful Musings and Peaceful Ponderings. Stay with us as we have a fun episode planned for you all. Thank you everyone for joining. Do stay tuned. I am waiting for my guest to join so that we can begin today's episode of the Author Collaborative. Hi Revti. Let me just check if I can invite my guest and begin today's episode. Stay tuned with us. Yes, he should be able to join us in a few seconds. In the meanwhile, let me know if you have any questions for me in the comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions related to books, movies, reading, writing, or anything else that you might want to know about my life. Please stay tuned. I'm waiting for today's guest to come. Yeah, I have a really fun episode planned for you all, so stay tuned. Hello, Sid. Thank you for joining. I'm waiting for Sandeep so that we can begin today's episode. Yes, the new book, the printout of the cover is behind me. It was previously titled A Piece of Your Mind for Peace of Mind, which I have now republished as Mindful Music and Peaceful Ponderings. You can find it on Amazon Kindle worldwide. Hello Shia. Thank you for joining. I'm not sure what your full name is. Please let me know in the comments so I can call you by your correct name. Sandeep is not here yet. Let's check what the problem is. I'll re-invite him. It's going to be a really fun episode, so please stay tuned. Have some patience. Yes. Okay, Shilpa. Okay, Stephen is asking me, Manali, how successful are your book sales? Okay, so every time I publish a new book, it stays in the bestsellers list for about 2 months, and that reflects on the sales. It's a clear marking of how well the book is doing according to the sales, because Amazon algorithm works that way. Unless your book is selling at least 5 to 10 copies every day, it's not going to show up in the bestsellers list. And I guess that answers your question. If it is staying in the bestsellers list for at least 2 months, it's selling at least a couple of copies every day. Yes, we have Sandeep here. Sandeep, we are not able to see you yet.
Okay. Yes. Now it should be good.
Yes. Hello,
Hi,
Sandeep.
Mansi. Yeah.
How are
How are you?
you?
Yeah,
So good
I'm
to
good.
have you after so long.
Yeah, this is my
We
favorite season. Winters I like.
Yeah, this is, I think it was December 2020 when we did it last.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's been almost 2 years. So nice to have you. And congratulations on your new book, The Heart is for Sale. I was just telling everyone that I have read and reviewed it, and absolutely amazing. The tiny quotes, musings, that whatever it is filled with, they're so heartwarming. So tell us about the book firstly.
Yeah, as you might know that that is the name. It's the name I really liked. I mean, first it was a thought that it all revolves around the emotions, and then that's why the heart. I had to name it around something, and then I want to the. I mean, I don't know if all the people got what I wanted to convey through the title, but it's like come and take all my emotions for you. I'm selling all the emotions for that. So I am very with the title first of all, and I think it provides full justice to the whatever the content we have in the book. Yeah, so
Yes, it
uh,
does. Yeah.
about like I remember like after 2019 or something, after that I always try to come up with one-liners, and they are my favorite. I mean, I really enjoy writing them as well as reading them. I mean, they are very I feel so much power in them. So I and it was not a plan to have a book like that, but then I thought, why not? Like, if they can make a story and then they are powerful enough to convey your emotions, so why not? And then it's a very, I mean, I like the concept behind that, and it's not a very new concept. I have read such books earlier, so they were on those lines only. But the unique thing about this book I found is like it completes the story. Like it's not like you take something and then you just write on that aspect and then you stop there. Try to give like a full circle to the story, by I mean how it began and then how it ends. So that's how I imagine it in the initial phase, and then I'm very happy that I could complete that whatever way I imagined it.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
come
about
out really well. Yeah, so
yes.
congratulations
So
on that. We also
yeah,
have
thank you.
Shilpa
And
here.
then
She's saying
okay,
congratulations on your new book, Sandeep. Shilpa is
okay.
congratulating you.
So, Manali, you need to keep an eye on the chat because I go so. I mean, I'm very focused on the conversation that I always forget to read about if anyone comments or some says something like that. It's I like talking so much that I'm always like focused on that
That's
part.
okay.
So
That's
please
okay.
take care of that.
Yeah,
And yeah,
I
about
will keep scrolling through the comments if we have any during the session. Don't worry.
sure, sure, and congratulations to you as well. I mean, you
Thank
are
you.
doing this, and more than that, what amazed me for about you is like the consistency with. I am always amazed by the consistency you have
Thank you.
with every week having such session, and then it's the consistency. I'm very much
Thank you so much.
I'm that's inspirational. I mean, I always say to that that type of consistency, keeping that is very
Thank you
hard
so much.
to, and
Yeah.
you know that how much efforts it needs,
Yeah, it does.
and
And it's really good to know that, people admire it and appreciate the efforts. That's all that matters. We also have
yes, yes.
Shraddha here. Thank you for joining. And Revati is also congratulating you. So,
Okay,
okay. Before I barge you with my questions that I have for you related to the book, I want you to create a curiosity in the minds of the viewers. So why don't we have a reading from the book by you? Read out a quote or a poem or whatever it is you would like to read out for us.
okay. I'm very shy about reading, but as you insist, because anyway, so the book is very short. I mean, as you know, and some of you might be knowing that very short, like one liners or something.
Yes. There is some connectivity issue. Please stay tuned with us. We have lost connection with Sandeep. Yes, I'm glad I could connect through Kaveri. Thank you, Shilpa. Yes. Please stay connected. We have lost Sandeep because of some bad connectivity connection issues. He should be back in a few seconds with us. Let me invite him again. He should be back with us in a few seconds. Stay connected.
Is
Yes.
it's okay, again? Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry
we
for
have
that.
you back.
Okay. So I said I am shy, so I'm just taking that some time.
That's okay.
Okay, so the book is like the one-liners, but in the initial phase, the person, the narrator, it's like he is not very much happy with God.
Yes.
and I like everyone around us, like we all have some questions that we want to ask God, right? And then I imagine like the narrator of the book imagines like if God comes on Instagram and arrange one AMA session. So the person is bribing God to come on Instagram and arrange that session, so we all can get benefit from that. So like I would like to read that part from the
Yeah, yeah,
book.
please do. In fact, I have mentioned it in my review also that that's my favorite segment from the entire book. It's so
Yes,
creative, and the questions that you have posed there. That if God arranges AMA, I would like to ask him this. I am sure every reader is going to feel that हाँ मुझे भी भगवान से ये सवाल तो पूछना है.
yes. So okay, I will start just how it I'm just how we should ask God to come on Instagram. Okay. So it starts with like, Dear God, why don't you arrange an AMA session? FYI, AMA stands for Ask Me Anything. Believe me, you will get a tremendous response with an organic reach. Even though social media algorithms wouldn't cut down your reach. Believe me. Don't tell me that there are already options to reach out to you through prayers. Prayers are fine, but as this is a social media era, you, like your devotees, must active in the social space to keep up to date. Just my 2 cents. So apart from that thing, this is over. But apart from that thing, what I wanted to convey, the pressure we all feeling on the social platforms now. I mean, we all know that it's how tough it is to have the reach and all that, and that's how the the person is telling God as well that you might be okay on this platform, but beware about the reach as well.
Yes. That's a
So
nice
yeah,
satire and nice way to entice God also. You are saying like, yeah, don't tell me we can reach you through prayers, but this is the age of digital media. You
yes,
you've
yes.
got to get in with the going times.
So as if the God doesn't know anything. Yeah. So that is my like you correctly pointed out. It's all satire. Like it's all I like black and dark humor and black comedy, something like that. And then that's how I try to write something on those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
we have
Manali,
a
yeah,
we have
okay,
very positive comments coming in here. Shilpa is saying, "Wow, this is intriguing." Then we have Unspoken Fable saying, "Wow." We have Neha who is also saying, "Wow," and then she says that was amazing.
okay, thank you. uh, Manali, why don't you also read
Oh
something
yes,
from your book?
yes, for
Might
sure.
be whatever your favorite is. Like
I have too
it
many
must be
favorites.
all
You tell me one of yours. Help me out here because there are 50 here. So I'm
okay.
kind of confused.
Yes, yes. First of all, I like the titles. I mean, I know that you are always creative with titles, and I am also I like some people. There are a variety of authors. Like some pays so much attention to titles and covers. And I think you also do the same, and I also do the same. Like I am very, I mean, I'm very for titles and covers. I take too
More
much time,
time.
and
Yeah,
then yes,
yeah.
yes. So because they are very important to me, and like I think to you as well. So I'm very, I mean, happy to read your poems, but more than that, the titles were so intriguing. So if you can,
Thank you so much.
yes, yes. So Lost Identity, if you can read, that is,
Lost identity. Okay, yes.
yes.
So it's titled Lost Identity, and it goes like this. I gave up my dream job to take care of the family, to maintain the household, to look after everyone's needs, his, the parents, and then the kids, to constantly be at the beck and call of everyone, to try and make my husband understand why I am unhappy and failing all the time. What did he do for me? I don't know for how long I can keep doing this. I gave up the girl I loved to fulfill my family's wish of getting married to the girl of their choice, to spend my life with a girl I hardly knew, to see my wife's dissatisfied face every day, to become a father when I didn't even want a child, to keep trying to make everyone happy and failing all the time. What am I getting in return? I don't know for how long I can keep doing this. On our fifth wedding anniversary, He left for work without even wishing me. The others didn't acknowledge the milestone either. I didn't want to remember the date much too. So I went on with the day, just like normal. The feeling of being unloved, unappreciated, a bit escalated. I'll show them all tonight. Enough is enough, I decided. My bitter thoughts now turned into determination to stand up for myself, to get back my identity. It's been 5 years today. She believes I have forgotten such a big milestone. It was hard, but I ignored her hurtful looks as I left the house. The others too were behaving aloof. I wanted to remember this day forever, for her and myself. So I left from work early, unlike normal. The feeling of wanting to show we all cared, a new one. I'll show her today. Enough is enough, I had decided. My bitter thoughts now turned into determination to help her to something of her own, to support her in getting back her identity.
Good one.
Thank
Okay.
you, thank
So
you.
that, and also, I mean, just to mention some of the good ones, like the titles, I will say,
Hmm.
take a break, don't break, because I know you play with words and you like to play with words. Same
Yes.
with me. I mean, they might seem sometimes overgone or something for some others, but I like to play with words and I always try to do
Thank you so
that.
much,
And then,
Shilpa. She's saying this is brilliant. Thank you, Shilpa. And we have a lot of hearts coming in. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. This is my heart in
yes,
return.
yes. So,
Yes. So you were talking about the titles. I'm sorry, I went off.
yes, that's the thing. Like I always, I mean, with your previous books as well, the titles are always like creative, and then I think we both, I mean,
Yeah, we are both like that in that manner.
and
Uh,
also for the covers.
yes, true.
I remember
And
your earlier
even
book that
I also have to add, even with the short forms of our books, the acronyms, we play with that also.
yes, 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 yes. So yeah.
Yes.
So earlier I remember your book where you had, I mean, one cover for each short story.
Yes.
Yeah,
The art of being grateful. Yes.
because and in that way you I mean you wanted to have, I think, six covers for your book, but you can only keep one. That's why you had that idea to
Yeah. That was basically the idea. I wanted a lot of options, and I was looking at a title for each story, which can be put on the cover. Ultimately, I had to pick one only, but I didn't want to go the others, let the others go waste. So I was like, "Chalo, sab use kar lete hain."
yes. Okay.
Yes, which brings me to my first question for you. So,
Okay.
are you ready for this? Let me just open the questions because there are so many that I have. I kept them open here. Just a minute. Where are the questions? So anyway, my first question to you was related to the book and your experience of writing it. I know that you have written in multiple genres and especially in humor, but this book is not humorous. Like it's not an out and out humor; it's a satire.
Yes.
So I want to know the experience of writing such a different genre. How did you go about it?
Yeah, it's very different genre, but yeah, I wrote many as you mentioned, that humor and then corporate satire and something like that. But this was like, as I mentioned some time back, that I started having one-liners from, I think I was putting consistently in lockdown or something, and then I started reading such material as well. So
Hmm.
so it was, I mean, inspirational for me to write as well. And then at one point I thought, why not to create a story from all these whatever I wrote. So
Yeah.
it was not like I started a book. I already had many material already posted, something or the other. I just refined it to have that. And I always wanted to have that thing. I always wanted to have such a book where you put minimum words to the reader and they apply their imagination or whatever their experiences, and they perceive it on their own. Like
Hmm.
many, I'm sure that whatever I wanted to convey, many might have gotten that in their own way.
Hmm.
But that's what my point was. It's not like whatever I want to convey they should get that, but I want them to perceive it whatever the way they
Yes.
can. So that I think I'm very happy with that approach, and the output it came from. I mean, it come as so
Okay.
so that way it is. And the main challenge was to omit, and then omit a few things which were not relevant to the story. There were so many that I liked it too much, but they were not feeling it somewhere or the other. So
Yeah,
I
they were not going with the theme of the book, entire book maybe.
yes, yes, with a broken heart, I need to take
Yeah,
them
I,
away.
I completely understand that. Yeah.
But
So yeah,
that
you
was the thing. And then
since we are talking about the book, tell us about the duration that it took for, for from perception to execution. How many months, how many years did it take for you to bring
yeah,
the book to
it's
fruition?
so to be very frank, I had this idea in 29 3 years back to have such a book. But
Okay.
then and surprisingly, I published one more in between. So that
Yeah.
was that came in between. I could complete that, but it was very, because I had to put a lot many thought in that. I had so many ideas to have this, and then I finally came on this one. Like I had to. I thought once I should include the letters and something in that, or
Hmm.
emails or something I thought of, and that took time.
Yeah, so the concept to some conceptualization happened in 2019, but
Yes,
it took some motivation to, go along with the process of
yes,
writing it.
yes. Yes, yes. So it's almost it's so much time actually. But uh, I mean, many of the quotes which I wrote back then, I just discarded them. But some I kept them. So technically also it's 2019. I mean, there are some things which I wrote in 2019. So it's
Okay,
2019 to 2022, almost
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
wow, that's
So
a
what
long
about you?
time.
What about you? What
With
about
this
your
particular book, from conceptualization to the execution, it was only 3 months. But some of the poems that are there in the book, they are from my repository. I had written them a couple of years ago, or maybe, as you said, in 2018 or 19. So even with my book, you can say it took 2 to 3 years. But the idea was came to me in April, and the book I published in August. So that was only 3 months.
Hmm. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you have something ready, then it's very, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
good to have
having something in your repository is always helpful. So बैकअप में हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ कंटेंट होना चाहिए.
So just out of the context, so you keep deadlines like I need to publish this, I need to complete this by end of the year or something like that.
हाँ हाँ
Even though they are
जनरली
like, otherwise you can't complete,
नहीं
right?
नहीं there's no motivation to keep writing it, to keep continue with the process of book completion. If you don't have a deadline in mind, at least for me, I think I lose the motivation somewhere कि ये करना है. या तो फिर मैं एक दो चैप्टर में छोड़ दूंगी क्योंकि वो मोटिवेशन चला
Mhm.
गया क्यों करूँ मैं अब. So yeah,
For me,
that
it's Amazon's contest. It's always motivating. I mean, I don't put any, I mean, much efforts into marketing or some lines, but I always that is like something I have I have something, and then that competition comes, then I feel like I should
P2P is
that
a huge motivation. That's true.
yes, yes. So that's very helpful actually. I mean, by
Yeah.
that way,
Uh,
whenever that comes, I feel like something I should do.
it gives the right kind of motivation. I agree.
Yeah.
Which
So
brings me to my second question for you, which is that how do you go since you have now. We can't call this fiction. We can't really call it fiction. It's non-fiction only if we go according to genre. So now that you have written both fiction and non-fiction, tell us about how you go about writing the two genres differently.
okay, so as you were also confused about what to call this genre, I am also very confused about what to call my fictions as well. I mean, there is not, I mean, I always feel like there is nothing like pure fiction or pure non.
There is some connectivity issue. Stay tuned with us. I'm sure the issue will be resolved in a few seconds. Hello, Venus Diary. Thank you for joining. We have a few new people who have joined us. And we have Neelashri saying that I thought I was the only one who was crazy for P2. No, no, there are many, many. Like me and Sandeep have always participated in it since the past couple of years, and even before me. I think Sandeep has been doing it for the past 3 4 years, and I know a few other authors also who have been participating in it regularly. We will be having Sandeep with us again in some time. Thank you, Shilpa, for your wonderful comment on my poem. Hello, Sandeep. We lost you
See,
again.
technology can go anywhere, but these problems will be there. These disconnections and all. So
True.
I'm not sure. I mean, even with celebrities and all that, also, I mean, they must have excellent something everything, but they also face these problems.
Uh-huh.
So
And
we
now
are
I can hear my
celebrities.
own voice. This is going to be weird.
You are you. Is it echoing?
Yeah, there is an echo.
Not to me.
Okay. I can't close it. Section चला जाएगा पूरा.
Okay. So I should I rejoin?
हाँ. You
Okay.
exit. Come on. Hello. Uh, Sorry, my voice was echoing, so we have asked Sandeep to exit and come again. Now it's not echoing anymore, so I am assuming that there was some issue with his connection. Let's wait for him to come back. Is there still an echo? Shilpa, Nilashri, can you still hear an echo in my voice? We are just waiting for Sandeep to come back. Okay, thank you, Honey Bee with Tasting. Thank you for joining and thank you for letting me know. Hi, Sandeep.
Sorry,
Yeah, now
I'm
it's okay.
just going, coming. Yeah. Okay. So it's like I'm like motivation.
Yeah, yeah. No, now we don't have any echo, so I think we are good to go again. Huh, so you were
Okay. So I
answering my
was saying
question
about
relating to fiction and non-fiction.
yeah. So I am also confused about many a times for my first book I was like taking opinions from people. What should I call that? Like,
Hmm.
is it a fiction or non-fiction? It was on the boundary. I feel always
That
because
was that book was that makes sense,
makes
right?
sense. Yeah, that was my travel experiences, but it
Hmm.
had some exaggeration and all that, and
Hmm.
of course a part of fiction in that. So I was not very convinced to call it a fiction, and also I'm not sure why should we call it a non-fiction, because non-fiction usually like a bit of serious kind of stuff or the
Hmm.
something. So people suggested to call it a creative non-fiction something. So
Hmm.
that type of genre. So again, coming to here, I am. I mean, I always like to be in reality. So even if it's a fiction one or non-fiction, I just want to be in reality. So my even though my fiction writing also appears as non-fiction or something like that. So for me, a good thing is like I don't put I mean extra efforts to be in that genre. I
Hmm.
For me it's not much different, to be frank.
Okay,
I just
that's a
have
very unique take at the wide spectrum of the both the genres, and that's really nice because it doesn't matter what wide category or genre it falls into, as long as you are doing good content and good quality writing. So that's great. That's a
so
good
and
perspective to have.
yeah, so and then people call it like if I'm putting exaggeration, I put it both in both cases. I mean, for
Hmm.
non-fiction as well as fiction. So
Huh.
that's that way also I whatever I want to achieve, I can achieve with that. So for me, it's not much, but I know that authors have some they go in different shoes for writing fiction and non-fiction. But for me, it's not much different.
Okay. Yes. So that brings me to the end of my long form questions that I had for you. Before we
Okay,
begin
so
in rapid fire, do you have any questions for me?
no, I do have some variety of questions, but let me ask my favorite one actually. I mean, I like to take opinions, and as you have published a book on poetry, I want to ask you what is your take on modern day poetry?
Okay. So,
Because just
huh.
a background of this is like when we were I mean, kids, when we were students, what the poetry we knew was like rhyming words, just something,
Yeah.
something, the last one rhyming, rhyming, rhyming,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were calling it
Yes.
poetry.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, you never know you are reading poetry. That type of poetry came into
Yes.
market. Even for me also, I sometimes I myself, my prose I call poetry. I mean, there is no very, I mean, turbulent boundary I can see. I mean, there is.
Yeah.
So I just want to hear your opinions on that.
So you very rightly said that as children we were exposed to only a certain kind of poetry form, following a rhyming scheme or reading just well-known poets like Shakespeare and Wordsworth. We didn't have much exposure to different variety of poems. So I was always of the understanding कि अगर poem लिखनी है, if you are going to be a poet, you have to follow a rhyming scheme like A B A B A A B B. You know, where the last word of each stanza has to rhyme with the next stanza, or the one coming after that. So, and I was very stringent also about that, which is why when I initially wrote poetry, all my poems had to have a rhyming scheme. तो उसके चक्कर में ना पोएट्री का एसेंस चला जाता था. You don't enjoy reading it because you are constantly thinking about rhyming words and while writing also, and the reader also doesn't enjoy it when you are trying very strictly to fall into a pattern of rhyming words. So the enjoying experience for both the writer and the reader goes up. In that sense, when I was exposed to modern day poetry, contemporary poetry, and other forms of poetry where you are not allowed to use rhyming words, I mean you are not supposed to be binded by rhyming words, it opened so much of creative liberty in my mind as a reader, as a writer. So I love it because it doesn't keep you in a certain cage कि ये यही ऐसे ही follow करना है. So I love it. बट वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग आने में थोड़ा टाइम लग गया बिकॉज आई वॉज नॉट एक्सपोज टू that kind of reading or that kind of understanding related to poems. Now I have the understanding ki, हाँ, if you are saying something in a particular manner and without following a pattern also, it doesn't matter as long as you are able to convey what you want to convey to the reader. And even if they are not getting the same exact perspective that you are trying to say in your verse, इट्स ओके. सबका अलग अंडरस्टैंडिंग होता है. जो तुम बोलना चाह रहे हो जरूरी नहीं है कि सामने वाला वही समझे.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so that's, yeah, that's a new perspective. I mean, I also I had similar
Yeah.
thoughts on that. So okay, so I will move on to my next questions. Next question. So I want to know, like many others might be, what changes do you see in yourself all these years as a poet? Like as you just now mentioned, one thing I can figure it out, that you were earlier sticking to the rhyming words, but now it's a freestyle. So
Yes.
can we know more about that?
Yes. One is the form of poetry that has changed. I don't follow a particular form. Uh, we have a comment from someone. Just a second.
Okay.
So Neelashri is saying you are asking the right question to the best person. Thank you so much, Neelashri. And she is also saying, Manali, after listening to this, I may conceive more poetry. Thank you. Yes, you are free to have any form of poetry, any it in any format that you feel like putting it out there. It doesn't necessarily have to fit in a box like ये मुझे ऐसे ही poem लिखनी है. So that's one thing that has changed in me as a poet. Other than that, I take a lot of creative liberty in what I want to put out. मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है कि सामने वाले को समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं. As long as I am getting the satisfaction of putting it out there, and as a content creator, as a poet, जब तक मुझे satisfaction नहीं होगा कि मैंने best piece लिखा है, I am 100% sure that the reader is also not going to enjoy. So enjoying the process is something that I have learned. Earlier, I didn't used to enjoy it that much because, as I said, I was trying to stick to that particular writing scheme or rhyming scheme. So when you are doing it, you are constantly thinking about how to put the message out there rather than concentrating on the message that you are trying to. So that has changed, and that has opened up so many gates of trying to be more experimentative with the type of content, with the type of message that I want to convey through poetry.
Okay. Okay. We can,
Yes.
I think
We
we
can
can
move
move
to
on.
the non-serious part of the conversation now, the rapid fire.
So, okay.
Let's do
it's
it this
always
way.
favorite
I will
language.
put one question first and then you ask me the question. Okay?
Okay, one and
Huh,
one. Okay.
one after the other. So, my first question to you. I know you have written four books, but since I have read only three books of yours, I'm going to stick to those three. So, out of those three, Thank God I'm Fired, Corporate Blah Blah Blah, and The Heart is for Sale. I want you to pick one as a writer and tell us why.
Writer as a you, me as a writer, or I
You
mean,
as a
who will
writer.
pick? I
Huh.
it's very. I mean, if you give me three options, I used to say the first one that you didn't read because I think you should read.
That's very
But
smart.
okay. Okay. I will pick the latest one because it's very new to me. So the heart is for sale. I will pick.
Yeah, smart answer. मैं भी अब यही करती हूँ. When people ask me, pick one book, so I'm like, हाँ, latest one.
That's very, I mean, justifiable answer. Otherwise,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
people may ask why not this one. So it's okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, very
okay,
true.
now it's my turn. I will ask one question. So one poet you think should read your work. You think
Uh,
the poet.
वैसे तो मुझे लगता है कि जो हयात नहीं है उनको भी पढ़ना चाहिए लाइक एमिली डिकिंसन बिकॉज आई एडमायर हर वर्क अ लॉट
Okay.
since that is not possible I'm going to pick a few contemporary poets whose work I admire simply because they have a huge social media following and a large following so it would be Ashish Bagrecha or Rupi Kaur. I
Okay.
admire them for their consistency and the kind of reach that they have.
Okay. So
उनको
I
देख के मुझे
also
ऐसा
find
लगता है उनको देख के ऐसा लगता है कि यार मैं भी कंटेंट अच्छा बना रही हूँ पर मुझे इतना रीच क्यों नहीं मिल रहा है.
same with me. I mean, I also follow these two, and then I can feel that we all are in the same space. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, just we all feel the same, and then just the styles might be different, but the core ideas are same.
Exactly. And also, one anecdote related to Ashish Bagrecha is that once I was traveling in a train, and the person who was traveling with me, she was reading a book of Ashish's. And, I was very tempted to, tell her that since you enjoy Ashish, you might probably want to try reading my books also. Because I write in the same manner, and,
Yes.
I'm also, my work is liked by the people who read. So, बहुत tempting था वो करना but somehow I controlled myself but then I put it on my social media saying that I was tempted to do this and I tagged Atish and he was very amused by what I had to say so I am very sure that he's a cool person and he would like to read my book so that's why.
So now I will ask the second question because that's the related
Okay.
to the first one. So one poet you think should not read your work.
Should not read your work.
Yeah.
I don't know somebody who doesn't enjoy poetry. I don't know any author who doesn't enjoy poetry, but off the top of my mind, I don't think Ashish ki wife is so much into poetry. So probably her. I don't know. I have never seen her doing poetry. I have only seen her doing long forms of fiction.
Fiction.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay. That's fine.
yeah,
Because why sometimes we write exactly opposite to someone, and
hmm.
then we think that that person might not enjoy our work because their thought process is complete. It's just a thought. It's not
हाँ,
like
मतलब my thinking is that if a person does not enjoy that genre in itself, then they will not enjoy my book.
yes.
उनको अगर पोएट्री ही पसंद नहीं है तो आई कैन नॉट फोर्स देम टू रीड माई पोएम्स एंड बी लाइक कैसे पसंद नहीं आया तुम्हें.
Uh-huh. Okay. You please
Yes,
the
my
next
next
one.
question to you is just a minute. Okay, I'm very interested in knowing this because I have seen this trend in the past few years and I have myself switched to ebooks from paperback. So I want to know your take on the ebook versus paperback debate. And, just in one sentence, tell us what do you feel about it?
It's a very tricky question because I am on the both sides. But if I want to conclude the debate on this ebook versus paperback, I will say choose anything but read. I mean, choose anything. I mean, whatever you like, that's fine, totally fine. But read. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you
Pick the
should not.
format you are comfortable
Yeah.
in, but do it.
Yes. Yeah, so it's not like if I'm very comfortable with paperback and if I get some ebook, I should not be like, oh no, I won't read that because that's the ebook, or the other way around. My thing is like whatever form you enjoy, that's completely okay, fine, and good thing, but read, and that's
We
that's
have
the
a
important
lot of
message.
enthusiastic participants who love paperbacks. So they are like paperback always.
So Manali, you know how hard it is to have the paperback. I mean, as an
Yeah.
author.
Yes, yes. It is very difficult. Yes. And that's why I always insist कि जमाना बदल रहा है. ई-बुक की तरफ आओ. सिर्फ paperback insist मत करो because बहुत मेहनत लगती है paperback बाहर लाने में.
Yes, yes. And then I have this Kindle Unlimited and I read, I mean, the books, the authors you never have heard
Yeah,
about
yeah.
them.
And in
Those type of indie authors I read.
mainstream literature में जो आते हैं ना, like in paperback version, you get so many more options in ebooks, and we have never seen those in paperback versions. And I'm amazed by the kind of content, quality content, and the talent that is out there, in
Yes,
the publishing field. So
yes.
yeah, to each his own. But I would still say go for ebooks because there are many options and the ease of access.
Correct. But then I don't want to discourage people who are paperback lovers, but the thing is like read that habit you should I mean
Since
inculcate.
we are talking about this, I am sure there are people out there who must also be wondering about audiobooks. मैंने खुद कभी audiobooks try नहीं किया है, and I don't understand how it works,
Yeah,
or how you
same.
can.
I tried one, but I could not connect more to that. So I
Yeah,
think we should, yeah. Otherwise, if we have been very habitual of that, we have added. You must have added that thing as well in your question: audiobooks, ebooks, or paperback.
yeah.
But there are some people I know that they love audiobooks and they can connect to it, so it's perfectly fine. I mean,
As
whatever
long as
form
we
you
are
get.
reading, as long as we are able to read the book, it doesn't matter what format it is. That's the crux of our conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that brings me to the next question. So, any poetry book title you would like to change?
मेरी खुद की. अच्छा.
No, anything is fine. And you have done already for yours.
Yeah, yeah. I have already done for mine. Though I preferred the older title because it was a tongue twister and very intriguing in that manner.
Yes.
Uh, I have always thought that I could have better titled my debut book, A Rustic Mind, and not just better titled. I think the content also could have been better. So I'm going to go with my own book.
Okay. So we have a chance, right? I mean, you still have the chance
Yeah,
to do that.
it's there in the back of my head कि उसको भी publish करना है कभी ना कभी.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, okay. That's fine.
We have a lot of people here. Feeling of holding the book, especially smell of those books when they are kept for long. Yeah, that is true. And we also have Shilpa saying more options in ebook, no doubt. They charge a bomb, not affordable for authors. Yeah, yeah, very true. That's why I have switched to ebooks. It's better for readers also and better for the writer also. They get more royalty and you get easy access to the book. If I may ask, why did you change the title, Manali? I wanted to republish the book with some new content and formatting changes. That's why I changed the title. Okay, my next question to you. An author other than yourself, who makes you laugh related to fiction, whose writing makes you laugh.
It's Scott Adams. I mean, it's no further. I mean, no confusion out there. Scott Adams is like the he is a creator of Dilbert comics. If people are not heard his name, so it's so dark humor and so much corporate humor he has. Like very much amusing and then inspirational as well for me to think on those lines. And then I get ideas from his book. I mean, not to be like very honest here. I get too many ideas from his book and how he writes mostly about the American industry. So that I just read and then that is very humorous. Like I always recommend those his books to whoever asks me.
Acha, tell us two titles. which we must. If we have not read any of his works, tell us where to get started.
So Dilbert is the only the work from cubicle is his one.
Work.
So that you can, yeah, you can try. You can
Okay.
start with any of them. They are very independent. So
Okay. ठीक है.
yeah,
Work
the
from.
joy of work. I think the joy of work. I'm just confused between. I have read some of his books, so I'm just not able to recall the
No.
which is the first one. The joy of work is I could remember. So
Okay.
that you can try.
Okay. ठीक है.
Yes. So
Everyone
Dilbert is
listen to. Yeah.
is must be in the title. So Dilbert and then the joy of work or something like that.
Okay. Dilbert. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll Google that.
Okay.
Your turn.
So my next question: if you write anonymously, what pen name you would keep? Now
No,
don't
no,
say.
no.
Uh,
This is going to be fun. I don't. So the first thing that came to my
or you
mind
don't
was
want to reveal here, you can. I
no, no, no,
mean,
no, no. So that's what. No, it's very funny what came to my mind, and people will judge me. But I'm very tempted to say Angel Priya because I belong to that generation.
yeah, that's a good one actually.
If
Yes.
I write with the name Angel Priya, I am very sure I will get more downloads and more
More?
views and more sales. More downloads and more sales. Angel Priya के नाम से
Yes,
बहुत कुछ बिक रहा है.
yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Uh,
Your
so
question. No, no,
your
my question.
question.
Yes. Oh, yes. I love this question very much because it combines my two things. You already talked about books. Now I'm going to ask you about movies. My
Okay.
question to you is a comedy movie from Bollywood and a comedy movie from Hollywood. Give us two recommendations of each and why we should watch them.
Okay, so I'm a typical Bollywood bluff. So only I watch majorly in the Bollywood stuff. I very I mean rarely watch Hollywood movies. So I mean selective Hollywood movies or something. So out of that I will say that Dictator, and
Okay.
which comes to my mind, and Borat. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, both are of the same actor, and it's mad comedy.
Okay.
There is there is no sense in what they do. There's absolutely
Okay.
no sense, but that's why it makes it hilarious. I mean, it's so hilarious. I mean, there
Dictator.
is no sense, nothing, but absolute fun. So if I mean, it might be the case that people will just throw that away. They will not like it. But that's how the films are. Like you either like it completely or you not at all like
I
it.
watched the Dictator. What's the other one
You
you
try
said?
for Borat
Okay.
of the same actor and same fun. Like
Yeah, Dictator is super hilarious. I also recommend that. Yeah.
same nonsense in the Borat movie as well.
Okay. There's also
Yeah.
the interview. Have you watched that?
Which one?
The interview. You must watch that. It's also a dark comedy. So South Korea का leader है ना उसपे
Okay. Oh, okay. I will definitely try to do that. Okay.
try watching
And
some
also,
Kannada movie. Somebody suggesting. Okay, Kannada movie. Okay, Hollywood देखता है. He's lying. He's a big liar. Your friend is saying.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now to Bollywood.
Bollywood, I mean, which comes to my, I mean, like one very popular opinion, one I don't know. Like Hera Fairy is my all-time favorite. I
Yeah,
mean,
classic
and
movie.
now here I will say people, I mean, amused by its comedy, but have you heard its songs? I mean, songs are superb. For Hera
Hera
Fairy, I
Fairy.
always
Are-
yes. You each and every song is super hit. I mean, I like the songs as well. I mean, people, and I mean, I met no one that I mean they are very fond of the songs, but I am like for Hera Fairy, I'm the comedy to hai, but in addition to that, the
We
songs also they are super hit.
have अंदाज अपना अपना. Of course, वो तो काफी obvious था कि लोग बोलेंगे.
Yeah,
And
I
then
mean, बहुत सारी, there are so many movies, but whatever
Ruchika
comes to
has told us the name of the book by Dilbert. Joy of Work, Dilbert's Guide to Finding Happiness at the Expense of Your Coworkers.
Yes, yes. The if you read the bottom line, it's too funny. It's at the expense of your coworker. So that's type of
Thank you so
thing
much,
he write.
Rita. We have the book name now, so I'm definitely adding it to my
Yes.
reading.
Okay.
Huh. Your second movie.
And
You only told us one.
I will say, I mean, there are a lot of movies actually, but unpopular, like not much popular, I will say Delhi Belly.
Hmm.
So
Dark
there are a
comedy.
lot of people, yeah,
Comedian.
very
Yeah.
dark comedy, very, very dark comedy and very nonsense. And but the good thing about both of these movies, if you see I mean, it's okay to be in Delhi Belly, but if you see Hera Fairy, and if you imagine yourself as the one of the characters,
Hmm.
that is not. I mean, it's very real. It feels from their
Hmm.
perspective, but as we watch that, it's comedy.
Yeah.
Like they are not doing anything special in that
Yeah.
frames, but that appears to become. That's very. I mean, I find it very amusing that they were able to do that. I mean, they are not. um they were not there to make the joke, but that joke is happening automatically. That's how it
Exactly.
is.
It's situational comedy. जैसे
Yeah.
what was that classic movie of the 70s? Nasiruddin का वाला. Uh, oh shit! Why am I forgetting? Uh,
Which
oh shit! Do you remember that movie? Nasiruddin का movie जिसमें वो साउथ बॉम्बे का जो फ्लाईओवर उसका कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रहा होता है and there's faulty construction.
somebody might help with chat people if they
Yeah, it's a classic comedy movie. There's one more which is very
you
underrated.
this the old movie of Nasruddin Shah, you mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I know that that is super hit movie. That
Yeah,
that's very popular as well.
yeah, yeah. Ruka. Oh shit. Wow, wonderful. I'm Googling it right now. And while we are on the topic, there's one more very underrated movie. I don't know if you have seen it. But I feel that उसको बहुत ज़्यादा popularity मिलनी चाहिए because it's hilarious. Which is a movie titled Love के लिए कुछ भी करेगा. Have you seen it?
Yes, yes, I know that song, that Rama Rama song is there.
Yes.
That's so good. I mean the Kerala scenery and all that. Fardeen Khan, Twinkle Khanna, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Saif Ali Khan, Twinkle Khanna,
Jo-
Aftab Dasani, Sonali
Johnny
Baby.
Lever.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. They are like, yeah, there are so many hidden gems like that in Bollywood. At Bollywood, actually, I mean, now in OTT, people are like that. But earlier, the movies only used to come on the cable or cable TV or something. So
Exactly.
many people nowadays might have missed it.
Okay. Where is it? Why am I not remembering this movie
And
title?
that is very
Now
popular. That is very popular movie. What we are not able to.
recall. Yeah, क्यों याद नहीं आ रही है?
Albert
जाने भी
Pinto
तो
को
याद हो,
बिस्तर में आता है.
जाने
हाँ
भी तो
जाने
याद
भी
हो.
दो यार. Yeah, जाने भी दो यार. Yeah, correct.
Amazing movie. Yeah.
That one scene where the Satish Shah is dead or unconscious, and then they make that movie. Yeah,
That
that,
whole
that's
drama in the end. It's
correct.
amazing. Comedy of
Correct.
errors.
Correct. Yes. Okay, that's like we. I mean, we can have the separate.
Yeah. We can have a separate live chat about the movies because we are both cinephiles. I know because I have been talking to you for a while and I know we are both
Yes.
cinephiles.
Yes. Okay. So that brings to my next question to you. Okay. So what hurts more? I mean, reading Indian Heartbreak versus West Heartbreak.
Okay. It hurts me to say this, but I'm going to say West because Indian emotional drama is usually adapted from the West. We do not have many original stories originated from India. Even if you see the latest one that was really hurtful, it was लाल सिंह चड्ढा. उसको भी तो तुमने फॉरेस्ट गंप से उठाया है यार. It's
Hmm.
amazing. Adaptation अच्छा है, but when you compare it to the original, you are like, no, because you have seen the original, you are forced to compare. So
Okay.
what I am trying to say here is India may be had, we have that type of content, but I just wish we had more original content and not inspired from written content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So I think we are like that's enough for me.
Yes.
I mean, enough questions from me.
बस
So
मेरा हो गया मैं इतना ही बोल सकता हूँ You understand?
yeah, so if you have anything like
Uh, no, I don't think I have any more questions as well. Let's stay online for a few more minutes, and if we have any questions, we'll address those. Please ask us
yes,
any questions if you have. We are done with asking each other questions. हमारा हो गया आज का कोटा. So if you guys who are with us in the viewers, if you have any questions for me or Sandeep, please feel free to ask. We'll be happy to answer them.
and it was a good session. First of all, I mean,
I,
what I mean,
it
I
was.
always enjoy coming here and
I
speaking about.
always हाँ, मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ कि तुम्हारे साथ जो होता है ना मेरे लाइव सेशन आई लाफ द most of my session is in laughing because we are both cracking jokes that are very on the spot like
Yes,
witty.
yes. अभी कोई नहीं बोल रहा है तो हम बोल सकते हैं एक दूसरे के लिए.
Acha, since nobody is asking, I had this question in mind. From your book, which is the one particular quote or musing or micro tale or poem that you enjoyed writing the most? Not the one that is your favorite. I want to know which one you enjoyed writing the most.
Okay, so there are, I mean, not to brag myself, but there are so many actually. But if you want to, I mean, want me to name a one only, uh, then whatever coming to my mind right now is like there is one quote there which says, "Don't judge me," the criminal shouted.
Yeah,
So
I have actually highlighted that one also. It's amazing the wordplay and the satire. Think on
I really liked it. I wrote it and then I felt super happy about that. So
Hmm.
that one particularly.
Shilpa is wishing us all the best for all our
Thank you.
endeavors, and she's saying super amazing session, Manali and Sandeep. Thank you so much, Shilpa, for
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
There's one more from yours which I'm recalling because we are discussing. There's one with if love is an art, I am science. So
Yeah,
why?
that was trend, if you remember. That was some trend going on. If something is this, I am this. So that's why I just wanted to play with that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I also like that.
Okay, I think we have answered all the questions we had for each other and from the audience also, whatever
Yeah.
questions we have. Chalo, this was a great
So
session. Thank you for joining me, Sandeep, after so
yeah,
long. It's always
thanks
fun.
Manali for having me here, and thanks all to all the
Thank you,
viewers as well.
everyone, and have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, yeah, same for
Bye.
you. Okay, bye bye Manali.